Hey, what's going on everyone, Hoverkid here, and welcome back to a new top 10 list. Now, we all have our favorite video game franchises, whether it's something lighthearted like the Kingdom Hearts series, or something over the top like the Bayonetta games or the Devil May Cry series. But what about games from franchises where we love that one specific game? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about. So for today's top 10, these are my top 10 favorite video games. The rules are simple. It'll have to be a game that I have played and beaten, so demos are out of the question. Sorry, Metopia. Just to add that extra bit of challenge, I'm only limiting myself to only 1 to 2 games per franchise. Keep in mind these are all my own opinions, so if you don't agree with any of them pretty much, don't be a bitch about it. With all that being said and done, game on! Number 10 goes to The Last of Us / The Last of Us Remastered. Back in circa 2014/2015, I may have loved this game, but that is primarily due to the fact that this was the first M-rated video game I've ever played. But after doing the full Let's Play, which for some reason episode 10 has no audio, I have a new perspective on the game. Keep in mind that I play games to escape reality, and The Last of Us is the exact opposite of fantasy due to the story being more grounded in reality, despite the post-apocalyptic tone of course. Another reason why I put this game at number 10 despite giving it a fair score in my trash or treasure is just the character of Joel. If you make your main hero quote unquote an unlikable prick, then prepare for me to not be willing to slog through your game. Thank God he dies in part 2. You know the game Knack, that launch title for the PlayStation 4? What if I told you when I first beaten the game back in 2014 I wanted that game to get a sequel? And sequel I got, and it was severely underwhelming. But how could that be? Knack at the time was one of my favorite PlayStation 4 games. Well, to be honest, I just gotten older, and after playing a lot of action hack and slash games, I just wasn't into Knack 2, despite it still having that beat 'em up gameplay. Except its gameplay is better than Knack 1. Was it because of the story? To be honest, I don't know. I felt like this was an impulse buy because of the fact I played through Knack 1. But hey, at least I could say I beat the Knack series. Unless there's going to be a Knack 3. But these are the reasons why Knack 2 gets the number 9 spot. Ah, the RPG genre. How I love you. Some may say your kind has the most confusing stories of all time and your gameplay is repetitive, but you'll always have a special place in my heart. So what the hell happened here? Seriously, I love the Castlevania series, but holy goddamn, Castlevania Harmony of Dissonance has gotta be one of my least favorite Metroidvania games ever. And this is coming from someone who loved the Castlevania series as much as some call me Johnny and James Rolfe. But Harmony is just mediocre. From the boring protagonist in the form of the grandson of Simon Belmont himself, the terrible 2 castle mechanic, and the worst 3-phase boss fight I ever fought against in a video game. Now I think I understand why the quarter guy dislikes this game. Well, at least there's one good thing to come out of this game. By inserting the Konami code, and if you select Boss Rush, we can play through it as an 8-bit version of Simon Belmont with Vampire Killer as the main theme. Yeah, I guess that makes up for the game's shortcoming. Show of hands, who always wanted to have superpowers? What if I then give you the choice of either being a hero or a villain? Well, if you choose you want to be a villain, too bad, Infamous 2's canonical ending is the hero ending. Infamous 2, considered by some to be the best in Sucker Punch's Infamous franchise, but to me, Infamous 2 has gotta be my least favorite Infamous game out of all 5 of the games. Here's a bit of trivia about Infamous 2. Originally, the canonical ending was going to be the evil Karma ending, but Sucker Punch wanted Cole to go out a hero, so the good Karma ending was made to be the canonical ending at the last second. In terms of story, Infamous 2 isn't bad, it's the flaws start in the new characters. So let's start with Agent Lucy Quo. Nearing the end of the game, she was willing, and I mean willing, to kill Cole if it means conduits can continue to live, despite her originally not being a conduit at the start of the game. Next, we have Nyx. While she is better than Quo, she has her own flaws. For one, she was also willing to kill Cole if it means the beast dies, despite her and Cole originally being good friends when we first meet Nyx. Yeah, just why did you make me like these 2 characters only to have me kill one of them in the final mission of the game? That's like if in Kingdom Hearts 4, Kairi would have to choose Riku but kill Sora, or vice versa. Remember how I said I'm not into heavily story-driven games? God of War PS4 is the perfect representation of that statement. First off, this doesn't feel like God of War at all. Secondly, Freya. This bitch, after we saved her from getting killed by her own son Baldur, she wishes upon death upon Kratos, and boy, after, like I said before, saving her from getting choked to death! Thirdly, the only good part of the game are the optional Valkyrie fights, which are post-game content. Why make them post-game exclusive if they're going to be some of the most fun I have in this slow-paced mess? Overall, God of War PS4 definitely doesn't deserve all the high praises it has, but the Valkyrie fights more than make up for it. Hopefully Ragnarok fixes all the issues. Alright, time for me to talk about a hidden gem on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, Dante's Inferno. This game is honestly one of the greatest hidden hack and slash gems I've ever played on the PS3. From its own spin on Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy, from Graham McTavish's performance as Dante, to even the animated epic that is based off of this game. So while I do love it, why is it at number 5? Well, it's only a console exclusive, so PC users are shit out of luck. But another issue is that the Divine Edition is also a console exclusive. More specifically, PlayStation exclusive. Now I could be wrong and the content the Divine Edition offers is on Xbox 360, but I don't have an Xbox 360, an Xbox One, or the Series X/S. But overall, if you do have a PS3 or an Xbox console, go play Dante's Inferno. It's really damn fun. Oh boy, time to possibly piss off every lover of story in video games. Because I love Metal Gear Rising Revengeance for its hack and slash gameplay. The good people at Platinum Games really did wonderful for this game. From where it should take place, placing it at the end of the Metal Gear timeline, to the combat and the hammy performance of some of the characters. I also really love this game's OST. Power rock and metal really mix well with a game like MGR. From the iconic Rules of Nature to the final boss theme, it has to be this way. Rising's OST just screams pure adrenaline rush, and I love it. In all honesty, the only thing I don't seem to enjoy in Rising is the parry system. You have to flick the left analog stick in the direction of the enemy that is attacking, followed by the attack button. Sure, you can beat the game without parrying until you get to Monsoon, but it is rather easy to get used to, so I won't harp on Rising's parry mechanic too much. Now, if only Konami would stop being Konami and just give us Metal Gear Rising Revengeance 2 already. Oh boy, time to piss off Josh! Final Fantasy Remake, at least to me, was the only good AAA PlayStation 4 game of 2020. From the visuals, voice acting, music, and the possible new direction Tetsuya Nomura might be taking this game in, FF7 Remake is just so damn great to play. Now sure, some people say you would need the context of the original to understand what is happening, but I say go in without the context. To me, Final Fantasy Remake is like Final Fantasy VII, the original, for a new generation who never got to experience the original. Even though you can, but then again, people nowadays seem to only give a shit about how good a game looks. For me, I played Final Fantasy VII Remake because I want this game to succeed. And succeed it did, selling over 5 million copies, as well as giving Square Enix's HD Games division net sales of $330.1 million, as well as an operating income at $96.8 million. Why can't I ever escape this franchise? Yep, time for me to gush about how awesome Devil May Cry is. At this point, I'll just be repeating myself on how much I love this franchise. So which game out of all 6 of them do I love the most? Well, the number 2 spot goes to Devil May Cry 5 / Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. I put these 2 games on here because other than them wrapping up the Sons of Sparta saga, it also pays homage to other DMC related materials such as the anime, the manga, and the light novels. Plus, the OST to this game is just so awesome, from new tracks such as Devil Trigger, Subhuman, and my personal favorite Buried Alive when you purchase the Virgil DLC. DMC5 also has what I consider the best combat out of all of them. I consider myself pretty mediocre using Dante's Royal Guard style in DMC3, but here I consider myself a borderline demigod when using it. Overall, Devil May Cry 5 Whether it's the standard or special edition, it's just action-packed fun. And if Itsuno and Capcom are still considering making new Devil May Cry games, I can't wait to see what they'll have in store if they make a Devil May Cry 6. After Pinnacle of Combat is done with development, of course. Alright, before I get to my number one favorite game, here are a few honorable mentions. Bayonetta 2, Smash Bros. Brawl, Sonic Unleashed, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 3 Plus Remind, and finally the original Final Fantasy VII. Out of all the games I just mentioned, my number one game combines great gameplay, a good story, a great OST, and much more. So for the gold, my number one favorite game of all time is Ratchet & Clank Future: A Crack in Time. This game is not only one of the first video games that I have ever played, but also my all-time favorite Ratchet & Clank game of all time. Yes, to me, even better than Up Your Arsenal. The gameplay, especially for the ship, is the best the series ever has. On top of great gameplay, tons of replay value, and tons of collectibles to find, from the weapon mods to the Zoni, which if you collect all 40 unlocks an optional fight against Lord Vorsalon. I even deemed the new characters such as Alistair, Asmus, Sigmund, and even Orvis as some of my personal favorite Ratchet & Clank characters. Overall, this game is just amazing to play through, and I'm glad this is the first ever HD Ratchet & Clank game that I have ever played. I hope you all enjoyed this top 10, but now I want to know from you all, what are your top 10 favorite video games, and could you recommend any of the games that I just mentioned to a friend? Leave your answers in the comments below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're still here, consider following me on my social media. Links are down below as always. I've been HoverKid, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.